Can you guys hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me now. I think you guys can hear me now. There we go. Not sure why I'm having issues this morning with the audio, but that's okay. So, guys, welcome to the show today. I'm Army Piper, filling in for everybody, doing a one-man show today, trying to get everything going. And, man, I had a lot of data to go through this morning. Is the sound good now? If it is, just let me know in the chat. Give me a thumbs up. Sorry for the delay there and getting going today, guys, but no sound. I sound like a glitch robot. Is it doing it still? Let me know. Let me know in the chat, guys. If I need to restart, I will restart. It literally sounds like clipping from an audio buffer. All right, well, we're going to have to restart, guys. I'll be back in like 5 minutes on the show. Sorry about that. Oh, it's good? It's good now. Cool. All right. Well, let's roll forward then, guys. Let's go ahead and talk about what we got going on today. If you guys didn't hear, we got the Hinman documents in today. I've been trying to go through those this morning, doing a one-man show over here, trying to hold it down. So my apologies to everyone. However, we got sound now. We're ready to go. Let's rock it. And let's go ahead and jump into what we're going to be seeing today. First off, though, I want to talk to you guys about who's in the chat today. We got a poll in there in the chat. If you guys saw it, go ahead and get down there in that poll. Click one of those buttons. We asked you guys, was the Hinman reports more bullish for XRP? Was it more bullish for Ethereum? Or was it a nothing burger? Let me know in the poll what you guys got going on down there. But first off, today we had a Mellow Fellow and Crypto AI first in the shoot. Congratulations to you guys on getting in there first. Let's go ahead and take a look at what else we have here. So we've got Army Piper. I jumped in here. We had Investing Bros jump in. I'm not sure who that was on my end. Crypto AI, of course, we got him in here second today. Brian D said, I'm like watching Bitcoin 5-minute charts in the mornings like this. Yes, it's very fun. Grand Roofing Incorporated in here. Brian D, Bedredden in here. Max PP, Ada Ace. We got Crux of Crypto at the Blue Wrench screaming out XRP. Thanks for being here, man. Could have used some support this morning on getting this live stream going, but you guys are hanging out with me, and I appreciate you all. We got Crypto Trades in here today. We got Gia S in here. Always pleasant to see you in the house, Gia S. Thanks for being here. Danny G. I'm going to try to mess this name up, or try not to mess this name up. Jimfoa Terrence. Nailed it. Okay. Sorry if I butchered your name, man. Joe Nickel. We got Sir Mugiwara. Crypto JMP in the house. We got Ninja Glock in here. Who else? Eric Wallen. Curtis Rorick. Always great to see you in here, man. Hyper. Philly Skills. 1428. We got Crypto JMP. I already said that. Wind Peoples. Always pleasant to see you. Oh, Crimson Caravan Company got in here early today. Again, sorry about that. Ihachi Tobias, how you doing, man? Crypto Mini Bike. Let's get a couple of more in here because we got a lot to go through. John Foster Crypto. And let's go down to the bottom and get some of these people that came in. Kyle Downey in here. And one more, and then we'll get out of here. Kush is my cologne, 810. There we go. Cool. All right, guys. So I appreciate you guys being here. So is it true that Hinman said ETH is a security? Man, it's a lot of documents, and there's still more coming out all day long today, just so you guys are tracking. There's a bunch of stuff coming out today. So we're going to try to get through as much of it as we can. You guys are going to be doing research with me in real time. I have the documents. I have them pulled up, and we're going to go through them together. So first off, let's go ahead and get over and do our banners. I need my banners up here. I don't have that going because I'm a one-man show today. Let's get into the macroeconomic news here. There we go. And let's go check out what we're seeing on the charts over here. Let's get to Army Safari. There we go. Bam. Guys, CPI data came out this morning. Oh, I got it right? That's awesome. Thanks, brother. I got the name right that I thought I butchered. So looking at the data today that we had coming in, guys, at 6:30 my time this morning, 8:30 over there on the Eastern Coast, it says inflation rate year over year. Guys, remember, it was at 4.9. Consensus was at 4.1. Forecast at 4.3. What did we get? Well, we got a 4%. It actually came in below what we were expecting on the consensus and the forecast. Looking at the inflation rate month over month, 0.1% actual previously was at 0.4, and they were forecasted in consensus at 0.2, 0.3. In retrospect, though, we came in at 0.1. Numbers are looking good, guys. So core inflation rate is now sitting at 5.3. It was previously at 5.5. That year over year core inflation rate, though, came in at 5.3. 5.3%. Remember, though, the core inflation rate and the CPI data is not really the biggest thing that they look at for the FOMC. That what they look at is the PCE data, and that PCE data is not going to actually be in until the end of the month. So just to keep that in mind, what they're going to be releasing tomorrow for FOMC rate hike data is not going to be based on the most recent PCE. It's going to be based on the most recent, but it's not going to be this month of what we now have for data. So looking at this right now, guys, it looks like we're probably going to have nothing. Looking at the FOMC CME gap here, guys, it's right now. Let me refresh this because this has been bouncing all over the place today. Let's see what it is now. Yeah, 94.2% chance right now, guys, that we are not going to have a rate hike tomorrow. That's what this is right here. 5.8% chance only of a rate hike tomorrow. However, if we jump over to July, take a look at July here. You can see we're at 60.6% chance of a rate hike now in July. So this is bouncing all over the place. This data this morning, when we first looked at it, had us here at like a 99% chance. This here was not a rate hike. September was supposed to be a rate hike, and then November was a rate decrease. So this data today coming out at lightning speed at us. So taking a look over here, let's go ahead and see what the truflation's coming in at. Truflation coming in at 2.74%, still down another 1/100th of a percent, way off from what they even put here on our core inflation rate. So as you guys can see, we are just chipping away at that stuff here. 4% here, and we have 2.74% here. So almost 2% difference is what it was before. Now we're seeing a little bit different. And let's go ahead and I don't have a quote of the day for you today. I'm sorry. I guess the quote of the day would be a little personal one for me. When the time comes to act, the time to prepare has done passed. Okay, so if you guys were not prepared for all this data coming out today in your TA and in your investments, then you probably should have put a little more time and preparation into that, or tuned in right here to Investing Bros so that you could get all of that alpha every day from us at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you guys for joining me today. Let's go ahead and jump over and look at a little bit of TA here and see what we're seeing in the charts. So let's do that. Let's jump over here. Guys, taking a look. Let's get to Bitcoin first. When we take a look at that, you can see that Bitcoin on a nice little grind up. I know I'm looking at a 4-hour chart here. In this chart pattern here, we got a symmetric triangle going on right now. We were kind of grinding up. With this data this morning and the CPI, we hit right here. What this red line is, this is a trend assistant line, and it is now rejecting down. Also got a breaker block sitting right there in confluence with that. Coming down a little bit, we can see we're starting to get a little curvature here on the ribbon of the oscillator, but still not looking too bad. I'm expecting that we're going to get another bounce back up with the market open today. We can see that money flow is still looking good. The trend fusion oscillator is still pushing up hard. And the RSI still not in that danger zone up there yet. Although we do have the candlestick print off of the RSI line that is pushing down a little bit on us right now. So let me go ahead and pull up something else here. I want to show you guys what's going on with Ethereum. Of course, we're going to get to XRP. I promise we're getting XRP. Crux. +1 for Army winning ATB. I actually tied, but thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, Black Knight 001. That guy, I met him yesterday digitally. We're going to be linking up. He's here in the El Paso area, so shout out to Black Knight 001. It's great talking to you, man, meeting a fellow person here at El Paso. So he's going to get a little hangout one-on-one time with Crux and I out here in El Paso. So got a super chat from Eric Wallen. Keep up the good work, bud. We love you. Hey, I love you guys too, and thank you guys for dealing with my audio issues this morning. I usually can test all of that because I have someone on the system with me, and because I had no one with me today, there was no test. This was in real time live action. That's the beauty of broadcasting live is that everything can go wrong, and it usually does. So let's go ahead and take a look here at Ethereum, guys. Ethereum kind of grinding sideways, not getting that move up that we saw with Bitcoin. If you remember looking here, you can see we had more of an uptick to its trend on the 4-hour candles. Ethereum really just sideways in a range here, guys. And what I want to point out is if you come up here, grab this tool, we're going to go find the parallel channel. I bet we can just grab probably right here on the top of this, anywhere in here. Just do this, bring it down. We're going to put this here, and you really could just catch the ranging going on here on the trade action. Tops to bottoms, tops to bottoms. So very interesting to see Ethereum grinding sideways amidst all of this. Still inside of its range right now, though, guys. If you actually look what we have here, and what I'm going to be watching for here is we broke out of this falling wedge here that we were in, and we got the confirmation breakout on it there. This could be a candle close up on there for a retest and could get some upside. But again, we got to wait and see how the market's open with everything that's going on. So tie for a win is still a win. Joe Nickel, I appreciate that. Thanks, brother. Eric Wallen, again, I appreciate that super chat. I just saw another one there. I saw that pop up. I didn't know if that was another one or not. So let's take a look here what we're seeing on Ethereum, guys. We are pushing down right now on this candle from that drop that we pumped up to into that order block, or that breaker block. That was like a 2.1% drop. Right now, currently sitting just at a drop of about 1.5%, about 1.5%. So not horrible on a drop here on the pullback, but we are seeing a pullback for sure. It's sitting there on XRP. It's sitting there on Ethereum. Let's go check out some of the other tokens here and see what they're doing. Give me 1 second. Let's check out ADA. Yeah, Cardano's getting a little bit of a pullback there too this morning. And let's go find some of my other stuff here. I mean, we can look at anything here. Atom, let's check out Atom. Atom's got a little bit of a red going on here. And how about some Matic? Let's see how Matic's looking this morning. Listed as a security by the SEC. So yeah, a little pullback on Matic too. So not horrible this morning, guys, but again, we are, like, Ethereum right now is in a little danger zone with this red candle that it does have. If it breaks back down into this wedge, you can see here we're actually set up. See this yellow line running across here? That is the zero line of the prime oscillator. And if we get a zero line bounce on that, as we've seen previously in past history, and when it comes up there and it can't break through, it gets a little zero bounce lines right in that region. We could see that. I'm going to be watching for that closely for you guys today. And I'll let you know in our Discord what's going on with it. You can get in our Discord, by the way, link below in the description. We have free Discord, guys, and I drop a lot of stuff in there. So I actually called out that we were coming in for this drop the other night before it ever even happened. So, well, I said a big move. To be fair, I said a big move's coming. Didn't know which way, but yeah, it was definitely a big move. And we see which way it went. It went down. So looking at Ethereum, let's go ahead and jump into XRP. Oh, XRP. You lovely, lovely thing, you. Guys, here's what happened with XRP. This is the scenario. So you can see here, going from the high that we had back in, the high back in 29 March to the low that we had, and I believe that was going to be on May 8th there. Yep. If you look at that and you do the, lay down the Fibonacci's on there, guys, you can see that we did have a rejection right on the 887 at the top of the platinum pocket. Right now, this wick down, almost hitting the golden pocket here. And so I'm going to be watching for this to be support for it. If it doesn't happen, guys, then we're probably going to be coming back down into this dynamic reactor range. Also falling cleanly on top of the trend assistant. We are almost up into the oversold range here. So it's very possible, or overbought range, I should say. It is very possible that we could get a turnaround here, continuing this down. I'm going to watch. It's critical how it plays out on the golden pocket here, guys. So that's what we're going to have to watch there. We can see that money flow, though, still good. The trend fusion still good. Primarily, what we have to keep an eye out for here is that we have a pullback beyond the golden pocket. So that's what I'm going to be looking for here. Yuri Navarro, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Guys, did you guys let me know down in the chat if you guys are bullish today on XRP, on the charts, on the markets. You know, just put a +1 down there and what you're bullish on today. If it's everything, just put all. But you guys got that data. We're going to be jumping in on the reports here real soon and taking a look at what it said in the Hinman letters. We actually got the speech and a couple of the emails, but I have heard on Twitter, crypto Twitter, you got to love that there is a ton more data that they're still aggregating through. So we'll see how that data gets released today. Corrects the Crypto said, I bought a whole bunch of crypto last night. These prices are juicy. Fact, man. Fact. Bit late today from Tyler Main. I'm just reading through the chat here, trying to see what you guys are saying. Normally, one of us is reading the chat and stuff while the other one's talking. So forgive me today for the train of thought, break it off there a little bit. But it's 7:20. Let's go ahead and take a look over into what we're looking at on the stock market futures real fast, and then we're going to go ahead and read on some of the stuff that's in the news today because there's a lot to get through. I'll go ahead and update my market open here, and let's get that going. Looking at the charts here, guys, on the market open for futures, pre-market open, I should say. We got the Dow Jones. Nope, that is not the one that I want. I want the US 30. There we go. US 30 getting a little pump today, guys. Let's even bring this down to an hour. There we go. Yeah. Here we go. This is the Dow Jones futures right now, getting a nice move up before the market open. Looking at the ES1, this is going to be your S&P 500 E-minis. Again, another nice juicy pump off of that CPI data this morning. And then if we look over at the NAS 100, it's looking extremely strong, setting yet again another high up here on the chart. So that's what we're seeing for the futures. We'll see how they all kick in when the market's open here in about 10 minutes. But right now, let's go ahead and grab. I want to show you guys a video first. This is a very interesting video, and you guys will have to let me know if you can hear this or not. I'm going to go ahead and blow this up full size, and you should be able to hear this. But if not, then we will deal with that. But this is from Gary Gensler in Bloomsdale. Jesus. New NYC in 2018, okay? And so this is a very interesting video here. I don't know if you guys can hear this or not. Doesn't seem to be playing on my end, and I don't know why, because it just played earlier. You are not giving me a very fun way to go today, system. Let me mess with this for 1 second, see if I can get this going here for you. Let's go down here. Let's grab that. Let's click this thing, and I want to grab and put this over on the right channel. Thank you very much. Google Chrome, Twitter. Let's see if this works now. Nope, it does not want to play. All right, so guys, I will drop a link to this in the Discord. But what this is saying, and I don't know why it's not working because this was all working this morning, but he literally says Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. Why do I name those four? They are not securities. That's literally what he says in this video. So I'm going to drop this link over in the Discord. I'm going to copy it right now, and it's going to be going into the general chat over there. So if you're not in our Discord, go over there and get in it. You'll see this video. It's extremely interesting. It was dropped about, let's see, I think like 8 hours ago or so. So June 12th, came out yesterday. So pretty interesting. Go check that out. Let's get that off the screen. Go away. Goodbye. And now let's go over and let's check out these letters and this email. So secondary screen, please. Can I get secondary screen? Thank you very much. Right there we go. Okay. So let me get the header footer going on here. Let's jump over and check out Safari, guys. And we're going to pull up the first article here. This is the House Republicans bill. House Republicans yesterday introduced a bill to fire U.S. SEC Chair Gary Gensler and make other reforms. So, first off, the House Republicans filed this bill yesterday that would fire U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission Gary Gensler, restructure the agency. This was put in by Representatives Tom Emmer and Warren Davidson. They introduced this SEC Stabilization Act to remove Gary Gensler following his long series of abuses that have been permitted under the current SEC structure. Okay? U.S. capital markets must be protected from a tyrannical chairman, including the current one. So the bill would add one more commissioner to 5-member commission and create an executive director role to oversee the day-to-day operations at the agency. The new GOP bill would also put in place a condition that no single political party would hold more than 3 commissioner seats at any given time. There's currently 3 Democrats and 2 Republicans holding those seats, guys. I will point out, this bill has still got to get Democratic support. So, is it going to happen? Possible. Is it likely? Well, given the climate of the non-partisan agreements that seem to happen, I don't know that we can get bipartisan support on this. It looks great. It looks good on paper. It looks good for votes for the people that put it in. However, I will say that getting Democrat support on this is going to be very difficult unless some people go in there and really push some things. So, obviously, we know about Loomis. She criticized the SEC's lawsuit against Coinbase, calling it regulation by enforcement, which is exactly what it is. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, we will have to wait and see on that. Let's go ahead, jump over. Let's check out some Twitter here first, and then we'll pull up the articles, guys. So, John Deaton here was talking about the SEC stuff. And if you guys don't follow him, you should follow John Deaton. He does some really good stuff. He's the founder of CryptoLaw.us and a managing partner for the Deaton Law Firm. So this guy knows his stuff, right? And what I'm going to show you here, he says that, where is it? I just had it up and then I went up there and I lost it. It's important to remember as you read the Hinman documents today, Hinman and the SEC lied in court for over a year, saying this speech was Hinman's personal opinion only. We had to piece together a video of their own words to show that they were lying. And what are the repercussions for us? Our U.S. government agency and its people lying in court. What are the damages, right? And so he goes through a bunch of the stuff, and this is who you should be following today for information coming out on the Hinman. If you don't get the stuff from here, you might actually get some malicious links out there, guys. People are already starting to do it, so be very careful where you're getting your documents from. If you're following TA Tim or I on Twitter, which the links are down below on that also, we'll be dropping those things as we see them today also. Make sure you're getting it from reliable sources. Do not get clicked with some type of virus link, okay? Let's go ahead. I'm going to pull up. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the Hinman documents, and we're going to start going through these in real time, guys. That's what we're going to do here. Bam, over here. Exhibit 1, Your Honor, I give you Exhibit 157. This is the documents as they came out this morning, guys, and we're just going to be reading through them together here and pointing out some stuff. This is an email from Gary Goldschall to Bill Hinman, okay? And it says, "Hi, Bill. We have 3 key comments here for your digital asset speech. It's a great speech, but we think a few points could help make it stronger. Primarily, we think that up front, it would help if you added a disclaimer that the remarks focus on the 1933 Act. And if you guys don't know what the 1933 Act is, that is the entire law or bill that exists, policy that exists on why they say things are securities or not securities. So this is literally what they're going off of when they talk about modern day 2023 blockchain technology being a security is a bill that it goes all the way back to 1933 before we even had, the half the technology we have today. Man, a tenth of the technology we have today. So as written, the language remains vague as to whether ETH is a security. If you want to make an affirmation statement that it's not a security, the language could be stronger. Just say it. If you don't want to take an affirmative stance, we suggest using language similar to what you use for Bitcoin, okay? Yep, the Howie-Wowie test, that's right. On page 8, when talking about implications under the federal security laws when an asset is considered a security, we would appreciate it if you would add, there are a host of issues being addressed by our division of trading and marketing and markets investment management, including broker deal, exchange, and fund registrations, as well as matters of market manipulation and custody and valuation. So these are the things that they were talking about all the way back when this email came out, which, by the way, guys, this was in 2018, so 5 years ago, okay? Let's talk about this for a second. let's go ahead and jump over to my screen and talk about this for a second. Here's the deal with this. They've known for 5 years that they had issues with addressing what makes an exchange. How do you register your funds? The market manipulation for 5 years. So how and what has changed in the policy in 5 years that makes you go, okay, this is how we fix this issue, or this is the problem that we identified, and this is how we are going to clean it up. Nothing. That's the answer to that. Nothing. Nothing has been done on policy to fix that at all in the past 5 years. So let's go back over and let's look at some of the actual speech, because what it is this big speech, guys. So let's go to here and let's drop it down to here. So this is, nope, I didn't tell you to go up. Thank you very much. So this is the Howey test, when Howey met Gary, digital assets transactions here, okay? And this is from June 11th, 2018. And so this is basically the speech, and some key things to point out here. Can a digital asset or token that was originally offered in a securities offering ever be sold in a manner that does not constitute an offering of a security? So big question that everyone's asked on this, right? Because we've heard, they've been asking for clarity for 5 years. You're right, Crux. So what they're saying here is that if something starts out as a security and then becomes so decentralized later on in time, can it then be not a security? And it says, in cases where digital assets or tokens represent sets of rights that give the holder a financial interest in an enterprise, the answer is likely no. In these cases, calling the transaction an initial coin offering or ICO or the sale of a token, it won't take it out of the purview of securities laws. And they go on here to talk about that they believe that these cases, the answer is a qualified yes, if they're no longer any central enterprise being invested in, and where the digital asset is sold only to be purchased, to be used to purchase a good or a service available through a network. Let's talk about this, guys. Let's talk about this, because this is where it gets interesting. If you look at Ethereum, at one time, Ethereum was a security, right? I actually think this is more bullish for Ethereum than a lot of things out there. But it is still bullish for XRP, and here's why. This paragraph right here is very important. Would you say that today's crypto tokens are no longer an investment into the central entities? So, for example, Ethereum, the token is Ether, right? A lot of people get that wrong. But, Ethereum is the network. Ether is the token. When people buy the token, they are no longer buying into Ethereum. They are buying a digital asset or a token that is to be used to purchase a good or a service available through the network. So you're literally buying the token that is going to be spent to pay for the building of a decentralized application, the movement of money, the purchase of an NFT. So I think, based on this statement here, that a lot of the crypto tokens that are out today, if you are buying it specifically for the purpose of a service, which is what all these tokens are at the end of the day, they are the fuel for a smart contract blockchain. That these, I believe in these cases, the answer is a qualified yes. These are no longer a security. So that's where it starts to get really interesting. Let's go ahead and go to the next page and see what it says. As I've come to learn, what may be most exciting about this technology is the ability to share information, transfer value, record transactions in a decentralized digital environment. Thank you. That's exactly what blockchain technology is, and they're nailing it here. What does that mean? Payment systems, check. That's crypto. Supply chain management, check. That's what crypto does. Intellectual property rights, such as NFTs, guys, that's crypto. Stock ownership transfers. We're starting to see tokenization of this stuff. So again, fits right into it. Countless other potential applications that can be conducted electronically. Fact. Because the big thing that we talk about is that we haven't even scratched the surface of what we're seeing with blockchain technology's potential. And the problem with is that until the SEC and the politicians that are so anti-crypto get out of those seats, they're squashing the innovation of what this countless other potential applications can be, okay? Using these new networks, one can create digital information packets. Yep, we know all of this. Transfer using encryption keys. This is Crypto 101, and I'm glad that in 2018, at least they understood this. Gary, for being a guy over there at, it says the invite's invalid. Crux or Cryptex or any of my mods in here, can you guys drop a good link over there for Van in the chat? I'd appreciate it. I'll check that link today, man. Sorry about that, man. Anyway, let's get back into this because there's still a ton in here. In many cases, the economic substance is the same. Funds are raised with the expectations that promoters will build their system and investors can earn a return on the instrument, usually by selling their tokens in the secondary market once the promoters create something of value with the proceeds and the value of the digital enterprise increases. Okay? Let's remember this. Let's remember this part right here. This is going to be important for you because when he goes into this section here, it starts to get pretty interesting. When we see that kind of economic transaction, it's easy to apply the Supreme Court's investment contract test first announced in SEC versus Howey, right? So the test requires an investment of money in a common enterprise with an expectation of profit derived from the efforts of others. So here, keep that in mind. In the common enterprise, that would mean like in the Ethereum network is your investment. That would be the ICO, guys. That's the ICO. That is the launch of that entire network. It's important to reflect on the facts of Howey. A hotel operator sold interest in a citrus grove to its guests. So guests to the hotel could invest, could buy interest in the grove. Okay, the transaction was recorded as a real estate sale together with the service contract. In theory, purchasers could arrange to service the grove themselves. In fact, the purchasers were passive, relying largely on the Howey service companies to tend to the asset for a return. So they paid money into the grove, but they let Howey maintain it and grow its valuation, and that was how they expected to ensure that their money grew. Okay. Form disregarded for substance and the emphasis placed on economic realities. In the ICOs, we have seen overwhelmingly promoters tout their ability to create innovative application of blockchain technology. So if we look at this scenario here, let's try to break this down into layman's terms, okay? So we have people that invested in a orange grove, okay? The orange grove itself is what has the value, not the oranges. Put that into crypto terms, Ethereum network has the value of investment. But the growing value of the tokens themselves would be equivalent to the growing value of the oranges that they sell. If they sell the oranges, the individuals sell the oranges to someone, and then that company goes and sells them on a roadside that's not related to it at all, that is no longer selling a security. That's selling a good. And that is what they're pushing here on this mindset of the ideology is that, all right, Troy King, cool, changing his username, make it easier, is that the investment was in the orange grove. And that is what was a security, not the oranges themselves. So just a little perspective on how they look at this stuff. Again, this is his actual speech. So I'm going to drop all of this today into the Discord also. And you guys can read through it. The emails themselves, we've only gotten that one out so far. So not a lot in there. Sizzle, naming it an ICO. Let's see here. There was something else in here. Let me check and make sure I didn't miss anything in here. This stuff literally came out this morning. Just so you guys are tracking, I started looking at this at 5. It's 7:38, and I still have not wrapped my head around everything that's coming out at the speed of sound. So However, we're not centralized, determines when a CD, and so with digital assets. Here it is. And so with digital assets, the digital asset itself is simply code. But the way it is sold as part of an investment to non-users by promoters to develop their idea can be, and in that context, most often as a security, because it evidences an investment contract. And regulating these transactions as security transactions makes sense. So what he's saying there is that with the digital assets themselves, they are not securities. So for example, Ether token based on this is not a security. But the way that it was sold by, whoever was promoting Ethereum back in the day, is what actually made it a security, which makes Ethereum a security source, but the good is not. So the impetus of the Securities Act is to remove the information asymmetry between promoters and investors. So let me see. There's another place in here where it gets back into another definition. And like I said, as we learned through this today, you guys are kind of researching with me in real time. So forgive me if I'm overlooking some things that you guys see, but we are definitely going to be talking about this at bro time today. Tim will be there. Ask GPT to simplify it for me. That's a great idea, King D. I'll get Crux right on that. Hey, what's up, Crux? Okay. When the efforts of the third party are no longer a key. Oh, here we go. But it also points to the way of when digital asset transactions may no longer represent a security offering. Guys, do you buy, and I'm just going to keep it simple. Let's go with something like ADA. Do you buy Cardano because of the Cardano Foundation pushing, talking about what it's doing, or do you buy Cardano because you believe in the valuation of the good? That's the question there. And I bet you guys don't invest in ADA because of what Cardano Foundation's saying. You invest in ADA because you believe in the ADA product, the ADA network, the ADA code. That is what this is saying here. When this points, but this also points the way to when digital asset transactions may no longer represent a security offering. When the efforts of the third party are no longer a key determining factor for the enterprise's success, material information asymmetry recede. Moreover, as a network becomes truly decentralized, the ability to identify an issuer or promoter to make this disclosure becomes difficult and perhaps meaningless. And so when I look at Bitcoin, I do not see a central third party whose efforts are a key determining factor in the enterprise. The network on which Bitcoin functions was operational and appears to have been highly decentralized from its inception. Applying the disclosure regime to the federal securities laws in this situation would seem to add little value, and putting aside the fundraising that accompanied the creation of Ether, based on my understanding of the present state of Ether in the Ethereum network and how it operates, regulating the current resale activity we see in Ether as security transactions would not appear to further the policy objectives of the federal securities laws. This means that because Ethereum was no longer valued and bought based on what the efforts of the Ethereum Foundation was, that Ethereum at this point of 2018 was no longer a security. That means that a token can come out as an ICO, be a security, and at later date no longer be considered a security due to its decentralization. That's huge. That's huge. That is the key takeaway in this whole thing, is right here on this page, is how does something over time no longer become a security? Over time, there may be other sufficiently decentralized networks where regulating the token that function on them as a security may not be required. And it is this stuff that they were trying to lock down because this greatly weakens their case. Okay, cool. Quarter Pounder Joe said, nope, you buy ADA because you love downward price action with a founder that doesn't care about price, but how slow he can drag his vaporware. I don't disagree with that or agree with that, but you prove my point. People no longer buy ADA. Like, obviously, if you're pointing out that there's issues in the network itself and how quickly they update everything, it's obvious that they are no longer the centralized enterprise that is controlling the valuation, but the demand of people for supply and demand of buying it and or selling it. So I think that would meet what we are talking about here, where it's no longer sitting at that state of the central enterprise controlling or boosting the valuation. So as I tried to point out, let's get to the end of this here. We're almost done, and then we'll go out and we'll talk about it before we move out of here and get into some community stuff. I know. Absolutely true, Seth. Crypto Seth, shout out to you, man. By the way, Crypto Gem Hunters, love that group over there that I'm with. He said, it's funny how much we use the term security without even having a definition. It's true. We did have a definition, but I don't know that it applies to the technology as we look at it today. I think the definition of what was a security was pretty cut and clear and dry when we were talking about literally securities, stock market stuff, not on here. As I've tried to point out, the analysis is not static and the nature of a security does not adhere to the instrument. Even digital assets with utility in an existing ecosystem could be packaged and sold as an investment strategy, and that can be a security. If a promoter were to place Bitcoin in a fund or a trust and sell interest, that would be a security. So because when it gets centralized, that's when it becomes a security. So that brings up something interesting here, guys. So if somebody had it all collected in a place, for example, Coinbase, selling it, would that make it a security based on this? I think it would. So is the answer to this decentralized exchanges? And that could be a very interesting look at when you see things like Uniswap token that literally is used to run a decentralized exchange. Could be a lot of movement for those. So similarly, investment contracts can be made out of virtually any asset, including virtual assets. Let me emphasize an earlier point. Simply labeling a digital asset a utility token does not turn the asset into something that is not a security. True, the Supreme Court has acknowledged that if someone is purchasing an asset for consumption only, it is likely not a security, but the economic substance of the transaction determines the legal analysis, not the labels. The oranges and Howie had utility. Or in my favorite example, the commission warned in the late 1960s about investment contracts sold in the form of whiskey warehouse recipes. Promoters sold the receipts, or warehouse receipts, my bad. The promoters sold the receipts to U.S. investors to finance the aging and blending process of the Scotch whiskey. The whiskey was real and for some had exquisite utility, but Howie was not selling oranges and the warehouse receipt promoters were not selling whiskey for consumption. They were selling investments and the purchasers were expecting a return. We expect issuers and market participants will want to understand whether transactions in a particular digital asset involve the sale of a security. We are not trying to play regulatory gotcha. Guys, look, we are not trying to play regulatory gotcha. It seems like every time we turn around, that is exactly what Gary Gensler is doing. Regulatory gotcha. Aha, gotcha Binance. Aha, gotcha Coinbase. So, Quarter Pounder Joe said the CFTC seems to have a similar definition since they filed a case and tokens classified by the SEC as a security. That's how clear the regulation is right now. Yeah, absolutely. Fact. Let's get into the next one here. We got like 3 more pages, guys, and then we're gonna get out here and we'll talk about it. So here's the closing. What are some factors we look at in assessing whether a digital asset is offered as an investment contract and thus a security? Primarily, we're looking to the role of a third party, whether a person, entity, or coordinated group of actors that drive the possibility of a return. The question will always depend on the particular facts and circumstances, and this list is illustrative, not exhaustive, okay? Is there a person, is there a person or organized group that has sponsored or promoted the creation and sale of the digital assets? I would say with almost every single thing out there, with the exception of Bitcoin, the answer to this is yes, on all cryptos, okay? Has this person or group retained a stake or other interest in the digital assets such that it would be motivated to expend efforts to cause an increase in value? I would say that is also the case with almost every crypto out there. Would purchasers reasonably believe such efforts will be undertaken and may result in a return on their investment of the digital asset? Does the promoter continue to expend funds from proceeds or operations to enhance the functionality and or the value of the token? I would say in almost every case, yes. Let's look at number 2 here. Is it clear that the primary motivation for purchasing the digital asset is for personal use or consumption as compared to an investment? I would say this is 50-50. I would say a good majority of people buy Ethereum or buy whatever token it is. I'm just using Ethereum as an example here. I think they buy it. Most people do buy it for the investment piece. However, developers, blockchain technology innovators, smart contracts, companies, institutions, I would say that those are being bought for personal use and consumption on the network to fuel those smart contracts. So, can tokens be hoarded or are they distributed in ways that meet users' needs? For example, does the token degrade in value over time, or can it be held or transferred in amounts that correspond to the expected use? This is a difficult one to answer. I would say that all tokens can degrade over time in value. We've literally seen that entire cycle take place every 4 years. But yes, you can hold it and transfer it in the amount that corresponds to a purchaser's expected use. I mean, I could say, hey, I've got all this Ethereum because I plan on doing a lot of decentralized application building and I'm going to need it all in the next 20 years. So technically, I could get away with that one. Are the assets dispersed across a diverse user base or concentrated in the hands of a few? God, this is where decentralization comes in. When you see things like, for example, Polygon Matic, which may be why it was put that way, they've got a lot of big wallets holding all of the holding a big chunk of Polygon, right? So I would say that in all fairness, it is not. It's the Mike Terrible again, guys. I don't know what's going on with my sound. I apologize, Mark. I have to reboot everything today. I normally do a sound check with someone, and I was by myself today, so there was no sound check. So, are the assets dispersed? I would say the Polygon Matic has a lot of centralization going on. Have purchasers made representation as to their consumptive or as opposed to their investment intent? I would say that most people that buy things like Polygon Matic or Ethereum, they bought it for investment, not for use on the network. Let me check something here and see if this works. Is this working for you? Is this better, guys? Because now I think my actual other one is good. Okay. Is the promoter supporting the secondary market for the assets, or are independent actors setting the price? Nope. The setting of the price is absolutely by the supply and demand. So if we have a demand for it, it is going to actually be what sets the price. So if we sell it, good. It sounds fine. I appreciate you guys. I just switched it over back to the one that was not making sound earlier, and it's now working. So what do you know? Is the application in early stage development or fully functioning? I would say that most of the cryptos that we have today, unless it's like Sui or Arbitrum or something like that, is in fully functioning asset. Hey, what's up, Steve Shrum? Papa Shrum in the house. We appreciate having you here. Have you heard from your son? How is T Shrum doing? We would love to know. Awesome. Good to know, man. Sorry about that, guys. Like I said, one man show and no sound check. So I should have had Crux get on with me and tell me if it was all right. Is the asset marketed and distributed to potential users or the general public? I would say this is both. This exists. Everybody, we all buy it. We're all buying it, right? Are the tokens available in increments that correlate with consumptive versus investment intent? No. That is absolutely no. You can buy it in increments, but it's actually available as much as you want to buy it. So these are exciting legal times, and I'm pleased to be part of the process that can help promoters of this new technology answer and their counsel navigate and comply with federal security laws. We're going to talk about that one in a second because I'm calling BS on that, or as my son would say, cap. Cap. He's got doubts. Are purchasers investing that is seeking a return in regard is the instrument marketed and sold to potential users of the network for a price that reasonably correlates with the market value of a goods or a service. Does Application Securities Act protections make sense? No, not here. Not here at all. Do this decentralized persons or entities exercise bona fide voting rights and meaningful control, or are they limited, including by another person? Again, going back to that decentralization. If it's not decentralized, not good. So, in the meantime, are there contractual or technical ways to structure digital assets so that they function more like a consumer item and less like a security? I believe so. Again, these are certainly not get out of jail free cards, and we would look to the economic substance of the transactions. But promoters and their counsel should consider these and other possible features. This list is not intended to be exhaustive. This is why XRP wanted this stuff, dude. I'm telling you, XRP wanted this release because these things and the time period that has occurred with XRP, I do believe that this makes XRP not a security at this point. I would think so. It is not meant to be a list of necessary factors in a legal analysis here. So, what this list is meant to prompt thinking by promoters and their counsel and start dialogue with the staff. Okay, is token creation commensurate with meeting the needs of users rather with feeding speculation? Guys, I would say that XRP 100% was created to be a transaction token. Mind you, someone might jump into it and say that this is what they're going to be doing to make money. But I believe that the intent of Ripple was to release a token that could replace the Swift system. I think that this right here gives that out. And this is why XRP wanted this stuff in the hearing. I think we may hear something very soon on this. And by very soon, I mean like in the next, 30, 60 days. Gotta get a little drink here. We're doing all the talking today, so gotta hydrate the vocal cords there with coffee. Are purchasers or investors investing that is seeking a return? Yes, absolutely. There are purchasers that are investing and seeking a return. In that regard, is the instrument marketed and sold to potential users of the network for a price that reasonably correlates with the market value? No, it is not being promoted by the network. And it is not being sold and marketed by potential users of the network. I would say the XRP's biggest promoter is the SEC. This is a rebellion against them. So, does the application of the Securities Act protection make sense? No, it does not. Is there a person or entity others are relying on that plays a key role in the profit making of the enterprise? No, no one is relying on anyone for the profit making of any of the tokens out there. I think we're all at this point speculating. Do informational asymmetries exist between the promoters? There's no more promoters hardly anywhere. They've caught them all. Do decentralized persons or entities exercise bona fide voting rights? Yes. Yes, I would say that the voting that occurs in decentralized assets is a very powerful factor that they have to take into account. So let's go read his final lines here. I think that's it. That's all I got on that. Let's go put it to the camera. Let's talk about it. So, guys, a lot of data put out there. There's still more coming. As of right now, nothing major in there, but definitely seeing some things. I do want to go over to my home page here on Twitter and let's see something real fast. I want to see what we're getting with Twitter real fast. Let me read through here. No settlement. Guess I was wrong. Looking forward to the Taurus rolling. Yep, no settlement. Massive update there. Hey, that's me. I know that many of the respected, let's jump to here. This is good. I know that many of the respected XRP YouTubers probably have a bad taste in their mouth from the suspending and delisting of XRP on Coinbase. But because Coinbase has not since unsuspended or relisted XRP, believe me, I get it. But this isn't assisting Coinbase. It's about making sure that we speak for ourselves. If you believe the SEC is doing the right thing, or you believe the SEC will have token holders' best interest at heart, you shouldn't sign up. If you believe otherwise, you should. And what they're doing here is they're talking about this. What is it called when people sign up for to send a thing up? You guys know what I'm talking about. They need like 100 of them. Anyway, they're trying to fight back, help Coinbase fight back against the SEC. So let's go ahead and look and see if there's anything else in here, and then we'll talk about this and close it out, because I think that's all we got. As far as community, guys, don't forget today we've got bro time over in the Discord. So don't forget to jump into there. You guys are going to want to do that. And then lastly, be watching the Twitter today, guys. We're going to be coming out with more of this stuff. Like I said, it's a whole lot to get through. It literally came out hours ago, and the documents just keep flowing. Even John Deaton said that it's like 60 some documents. So we'll get into it. It's a lot to go off of. As of right now, you can see if we look over at the screen there, we are still getting downside on the markets with big drop here on the US 100. ES1, little pullback after the market opened this morning, and the US 30. The only thing sitting in the green this morning, which is the Dow Jones. Look over at Ethereum, still pushing downward right now. Markets are dumping pretty decent. I won't say dumping because it's not a crash, but definitely pulling back. And we can see here XRP getting back to where I was talking about. So we're going to see if it holds this range, guys, on the golden pocket. Thank you guys for joining me today. Sorry for the chaotic show. It's a one-man show, and it's a whole lot of data that came out on top of it. And I apologize for the sound issues, but thank you guys for joining me today. If you guys enjoyed this show and you enjoyed what we put out today, go ahead, smash that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell, share it with a friend so that they can get this alpha right here on Investing Bros, the most generous YouTube show on the interwebs. And I will catch you guys tomorrow back here with Tim. Hopefully no meetings for him tomorrow. Tim, I need you back here, man. Come on back. And I will see you guys at 1 o'clock on Bro Time. As always, you guys, trade safe and stay prime. Thanks for joining me today on Investing Bros. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.
Trying to make paper, turn that batter to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor, the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shrooms News got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that batter to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros.